Today was going to be a decluttering vlog, but I hurt myself in the process of decluttering this week, and it has really slowed me down. And when I am working on it now, I am so focused on not hurting myself that adding the extra layer of the camera is not really helpful for me, so I am just choosing to not do that this week, although I will be bringing you along with me for other things regarding the move coming up. It's just, I need to be careful with myself, and so I need a video. And then I thought, what better way to kick April off, I'm filming this on the 1st, than to talk about taking care of yourselves in the context of taking care of myself because of my cat. So if you haven't been watching my previous videos, I have 2 cats. Technically I have 3 cats, as my oldest child is named Cat, but 2 feline cats, one of whom is a 1.5-year-old kitten man named Lucy, and one of them is a 10-year-old ginger boy named Loki. So Loki has low kidney function. When he got his blood work in, we were doing it because he needs to get some dental work in, and in order to put a cat through anesthesia, they need to do the blood work, and the blood work showed low kidney function. And the vet was concerned because normally you don't see low kidney function like that in a cat of his age. It's usually an older cat. He's not a young cat, he's an older cat himself, but older than him. But we redid the blood work twice, and he indeed has low kidney function. In and of itself, that's stressful. We love our cat. He's an absolute sweet man, and we are going to start giving him a prescription diet and doing what we can to maintain his health. But when we found out all about this, it really put me into my head, because the other thing you may not know is that I have low kidney function. I have polycystic kidney disease. It is a genetic kidney disease that I got passed down through my grandmother and my father. My dad died when he was 40 of a brainstem aneurysm from it, and I'm 41, and I went in for a routine MRI and MRA to check for aneurysm, and they found something, they don't know what yet, and I just had a second one done, and I'm still waiting for results. On top of all of that, like I said, I feel like crap, both because my kidneys are gigantic and they cause me a lot of pain, hence the lack of a declutter vlog, and because of the low energy, the kidney brain fog, the itchy legs, the restless legs, all of the things that come with having low kidney function. So you can imagine that I was super in my head when it came to finding out that my cat, who has broken me of my hatred of cats to make me now somebody who baby talks cats, having the same problem I do. It occurred to me that I was spending all of this time thinking about how we were going to take good care of him so we have as many kitty years possible with him. I was spending all this time thinking about that for him, but I never spend that much time thinking about doing the same for me. And so that got me thinking about my combative relationship with the popular idea of self-care. There are so many people who treat self-care like, ooh, take a bubble bath or get a massage or get a facial, and that's self-care. That always stressed me out because I've never had a massage. I don't like being touched that way by strangers. I have sensitive skin. I'm a hugger, but I do not like getting back rubs. Like even when my husband tries to give me a back rub, it stresses me out. The only person who can rub my shoulders without destroying me is RJ, my kid. And he knows to be very careful with that. I think it's because he has similar skin that I do. I don't like getting touched, so I have not gotten a massage. I've never gotten a facial. I've never been to a dermatologist. It feels sometimes like the vibe of talking about self-care has really taken a turn to the land of do what feels good for me at any given moment. Do what I want to do at any given moment. That's self-care. I'm taking some self-care time. Like, I'm not arguing against getting a massage or taking some you time. But when I think about the things I need, the self-care I need to feel better, the things I need to be focusing on that I haven't been, they don't have anything to do with massages and spa days and essential oils. They have everything to do with make sure I'm getting enough water every day and making sure that I take my meds on time as opposed to in the general vicinity of time. You know, there's a difference between taking my blood pressure medication every day at 8 a.m. and taking it one day at 7 a.m. and one day at 9 a.m. and one day at 10 a.m. and then one day at 8 a.m. It's better for my system, for my meds to be coming into my body at regular intervals. Getting the right amount of sleep, making sure that I am not only eating takeout because I'm so exhausted, but balancing that with not overstressing myself with the food that's coming into our household. Self-care for me involves making sure that my kids are dealing with all of the change in our lives with as much support as I can give them, because I feel better when my kids feel secure and loved. When they don't, it doesn't matter how much I've taken care of myself. If my kids don't feel secure and loved, I don't feel right. And right now it's a really hard time for us because we are making some major changes to how they are going to be living their lives. They're going to be living with us as their primary residence and seeing their dad much less often because we're moving to Denver and he is moving to a different state than that. So for them who have had 50 custody for 10 years now, that's a big change. It's a lot to ask of them. And part of my self-care is learning to advocate for myself, to holding my family accountable when it comes to things like packing the house or making dinner or whatever, that it's not always on me, and especially since I have a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old, as well as a husband, and they can all do some stuff. My thoughts on self-care have evolved to what can I do each day to make sure that I get through the day with as little added pain. There will be pain in my day. How can I minimize any extra pain, any unnecessary pain? How can I minimize any unnecessary aches and any unnecessary headaches that come from being dehydrated with kidney disease? I'm always dehydrated with kidney disease, and there are ways to mitigate that. How can I mitigate that? How can I be nicer to myself so at the end of the day I'm not overly guilting myself for things that are either in my control or out of my control? For me, self-care is not about living my best life. Self-care is about being precious with the life that I have and the precious with the lives of the people around me. So all of that to say, what is that looking like for me in April? What am I trying to do? What changes am I making, despite the fact that we are trying to get our house on the market, staged, and go on a trip to Denver to house hunt in a pandemic, which is terrifying for me. How am I doing this in April? Well, first of all, my morning routine has drastically changed, and if you want a video of it, it'll be short, but I'll just tell you now. My morning routine is very simple right now. It is wake up, ideally half an hour or so before anybody else in the house wakes up, get my coffee, sit outside for a few minutes, if it's possible, if it's not like, as frigid as a witch's nipple, somewhere near one of my big windows that gets the sunlight, have my coffee, have a few minutes of quiet, and then take a look at my day and see what's coming up. Also, I start all of that off with brushing my teeth because of my dragon breath, but that's it. I would like to add taking like a 15-minute walk to that as well, but we're starting small. That's my morning routine. And then I will start some tea for RJ. I will start waking the kids up for school. I will maybe make breakfast for them if I'm in the mood for it. If not, I'll sit down at my desk and start just gathering my thoughts for the day ahead before I have to take the kids to school, because Jesse's much more of an asshole in the morning than I am. We've made a deal that I will take the kids to school when they have in-person school, which is part-time right now, so that he can get himself ready without having to worry about that. I'm totally fine with that, by the way. As long as I get to wake up before everybody else, I'm usually good in the morning, and I have no problem getting into the car in my bathrobe and my cat slippers. That's my morning routine. What does my evening routine look like? This is very critical. So usually we have dinner about 6:30 or so, 6:30 or 7. It depends on when we start making dinner. When I start making dinner, when somebody else starts making dinner, when we use DoorDash, whatever. Have dinner. As we're wrapping up dinner, as dishes are getting done, the dishes are done, I tend to head off to the bedroom while everybody else is wrapping up their evenings. This is usually if we have the kids, when Jesse and the kids have their own conversations, because I'm usually at the edge of my limits by that time during the day. My pain levels are really high at that point, regardless of how much mitigation I've done. Even on a day when I'm not in that bad of pain, usually by about 7:30, I am majorly struggling. So I usually head off to the bedroom, light my candle. Currently, I think it's lavender marshmallow, some hippie shit like that. Put my watch on the charger. I find some podcast or something to listen to, or maybe a YouTube video. I love listening to YouTube videos in the shower. Oh, freaking art YouTube channels. You'd think, why would I listen to an art YouTube channel while I'm in the shower when I can't see it? But I'm telling you, I will just put it on as background noise. And I will take my pain pill, and I will get in the shower and I will wash my makeup off and I will take a hot shower. I'll let it run on my flanks where my kidneys are the worst to relax my muscles. It's mainly just a shower to make me relaxed. And then I'll get out of the shower. I will get dressed, put on my things that make me smell good. I use my evening scented stuff like I talked about in last week's vlog, you know, my chamomile bergamot stuff from Bath & Body Works. And I do my evening skincare, and I take the rest of my meds, and I refill my water bottle. I make sure the dishwasher is running because for some reason people in this house will fill it up but they won't start it. Make sure the kids are ready to get in the shower. I let them know I'm out. We have enough hot water for us to be in the shower at once, but the water pressure is not always the greatest, so they usually wait until I'm done to take a shower. So I'll let them know I'm out so they can start showering. And then I will crawl into bed with a book, or I'll put a movie on, and I will probably lay there for a good hour, hour and a half before I fall asleep. Sometimes I fall asleep faster, but sometimes RJ will come in and lay down next to me and we'll watch Schitt's Creek. Sometimes Kat will come in and hang out with me and we'll chat. Right now, we're repainting the kids' bathroom for the house selling, and so the kids take showers in my bathroom, so I watch them go back and forth and like talk to them or whatever. I'm not usually asleep at this point, but I am most definitely in repose, usually with my legs up on a pillow and my back padded with pillows because I'm in a lot of pain. If I am feeling extra perky, I might spend this time in the recliner in the living room. It just depends on how I'm feeling. And then I go to sleep whenever I fall asleep. And Jesse comes to bed later, makes sure that whatever, if I've left anything on, or if I fell asleep with my glasses on, or if my book is still on the bed, or if I fell asleep watching TV, he makes sure that's all off. My alarm clock automatically sets, and I put my watch back on, which buzzes to wake me up, which has been very helpful and also terrible because the snooze has become much easier to hit. And that's what I do in the evenings. It's all self-care for me. It's all geared towards getting me into bed and easing me into sleep when sleeping is very difficult for me. Getting comfortable is very difficult for me. My kidneys are the size of babies. I can't lay on my back without it triggering sciatica. I can't lay on my stomach because I've never been able to sleep on my stomach, and also it's like trying to sleep on your stomach when you're pregnant. I can't lay on my left side because of my fistula in this arm. Isn't that beautiful? So I have to sleep on my right side, which was terrible when I got my first dose of the vaccine because then I couldn't lay on that side because it hurt too much, and it's just... But anyway, what I have learned is that 4 self-care items for me help me mitigate the worst of my bad physical feelings and help pump up the best of my mental feelings every single day. And I've identified them, and none of them are that complicated. So if I can knock them off every single day, not to procrastinate, but because it's good for me, then that is what self-care looks like for me. So those 4 things are the aforementioned morning routine, but specifically getting up 15 minutes to half an hour before everybody else in my house. That little bit of quiet time does me a world of good. Number 2, going for a walk each day, even if it's just a 10 or 15 minute walk, but getting out of the house, away from my desk, moving my body, especially outside. Number 3, drinking enough water every day. So this is something we can all do, but as a kidney disease patient who's on diuretics, it's very important. So my massive hydro flask, I need to go through like 6 or 7 of these a day. Easy. Please note, I fill this thing almost to the top with ice because my water has to be freezing or I don't want to drink it. And then for taking that nighttime shower before I get into bed. All of those things together, each one by themselves, does me a world of good, but together they maintain throughout the day. They are the best self-care for me any given day. No amount of essential oils, no amount of chocolate-covered strawberries, no amount of massages, no amount of Tony Robbins can make me feel better. No amount of any of that shit can make me feel better than those 4 things. Those 4 things are key to me having the most level day that I can. And so what I'm going to challenge you to do is to really think about what self-care means for you and pinpoint the things, no matter how many they are, but try and keep it to a reasonable amount. The things that if you do them every day, they may not be Instagram worthy, they may not be, podcast worthy, they may not be productivity guru worthy things, but for you, they are things that make your day a little bit better, that make your day a little bit more on the level. Like, I know I'll be in pain every day, but doing these things helps remove unnecessary pain. I will have a better day doing those things than if I don't. So identify those things, even just one thing, and try and do it every day. Track it if you want to. If you don't want to track it, don't fucking track it. But if you have 85,000 bullet journal trackers, ask yourself the question, are the things in my tracker things that actually are self-care? Are the things in my tracker things that actually make my day better? Or are they just there so I can procrastinate, or so I can look good, or so I feel like I'm supposed to? Reevaluate what these things are to you, because true self-care is listening to your body, listening to yourself, and then acting on what you hear. It is easy to hear what everybody else has to say and think that those are the things that you're supposed to do, when ultimately nobody knows you better than you do. And sometimes our inner voices get drowned out by everything else. Anyway, this has been a super rambly video, but I would love to hear from you in the comments one thing that you do that is for you truly self-care. And I will try not to add them all to a habit tracker. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, peace.